top left corner of your screen, and it's so that we can get a recording. You guys can watch this as many times as you'd like. And I hope that it's helpful. You know, first of all, I want to thank everybody. I'm going to admit people as we start. I want to thank everybody for being here. I know it's an odd time of day to have a back to school night. I did this mostly for my schedule, for my student teacher as well. So I do apologize if the timing is bad. I'm hoping to stick with 30 minutes. That's my goal, and that we are done at 3 o'clock. If you have to leave anytime, feel free. If the Wi-Fi kicks you off, just log right back in. And I am recording this whole meeting, so I will share the video recording with you tonight so that you have access to everything I show you and share with you. So again, thank you so much for starting off the year with me. It has not been perfect. There are, you know, bumps in the road. And so I appreciate your willingness to be patient with me as I figured this out. Canvas is brand new for me. I learned it 2 weeks before school started, and I'm still figuring out a lot with Canvas, but I'm going to share with you today what I do know and what I have learned, and hopefully it clears up a little bit of the confusion with Canvas and with the assignments, okay? So I'm going to start by sharing my screen so that you can see a couple of things I have prepared for you. Okay, and let me just put my participants over here on the side so I can see everybody. And I'm also going to put my chat box over on the side so that I can see if anybody needs to be let in the room. And the chat box is open, so if you have something you'd like to chat or ask, you can just put your questions in the chat box as I go, so that way we can circle back around to those questions at the end, okay? I'm just gonna go ahead and tell you a little bit about what I have for you, and it's based on the questions that were asked. So if you can see my screen, give me a thumbs up with your emoji reaction or just a regular thumb. Okay, so this is just, you know, obviously my screen. So we're gonna start with the schedule. Ms. Tran is going to share the schedule with you. So I'm going to mute myself so that she can speak.
Good afternoon, parents. This is the daily schedule for the class. Every single day we have 3 Zoom meetings, and they can enter the Zoom meeting, the first Zoom meeting, early for social time like morning recess. Every morning we do PE, journal, and then reading, and then there's independent time, which we get off of Zoom and a little break for them. And then Zoom number 2 is where we go directly into math and then independent work. Then we get off of Zoom at independent work and for lunch. Then we hop on for Zoom number 3 after lunch, and we do a Charlie and the Chocolate Factory read aloud. We're halfway through the book and writing and then science or history. And then they go straight into independent work or one-on-one if they need the extra help.
Yay, Ms. Tran, that was her first back to school night. Good job. So just a thank you for the applause for her. So just a couple other things to point out. This is 2 hours and 50 minutes of live synchronous instruction. Just give me a thumbs up if you can hear me, because sometimes I don't have my, okay, thank you. So it's just under 3 hours for the whole class. If at any time it's too much, please just send me a text message and say, hey, my kid is done for the day. Just so I know, because if a kid doesn't show up, I don't really know what's happening. I don't know what they need. If you text me or if they message me, then I'll understand. You know, it's just harder when I don't know. But it's under 3 hours, so I hope that that seems reasonable for you. You can give me a thumbs up if you're okay. Give me a thumbs down if you're not. That's what I'm hoping. Okay, we're looking good. 30 to 45 minutes will be at 2 o'clock for anyone struggling through the day. And what I mean by struggling is if they didn't have enough time to finish something, if they just didn't seem like they were with me during instruction, like maybe they're rolling around on the backyard or something, and I'm like, where are you? What are you doing? So I'll just write their name down. If they didn't finish an assignment, I'll write their name down, and it's not because they're in trouble. It's not like a punishment. It's just giving them more time with their teacher, okay? That is going to be 2 o'clock almost every day. So if your child is excused at 2 o'clock, it's probably because they seemed like they understood everything they were supposed to do for the day, okay? It might not be that they're finished, but just that they're doing fine. Every week, we are putting in fitness, social emotional thinking and learning, reading, math, writing, science or social studies, art. will be every Friday now, and choral music is starting tomorrow, every Wednesday. Instrumental music still has not been determined for a time, but I know it will be once a week for band and once a week for strings. Okay, so that's starting soon. And to answer a little bit of more of those questions that have been popping up, here's a lot of information here, so let me just kind of get it all in a nutshell. Readers, we have everything from 2nd grade readers to 10th grade readers, and I'm going to be honest with you, that's the biggest spread I've ever had. It is a giant spread. So I'm going to have to group students by levels. I'm going to have to group students by levels and skills for reading. And those groups might be obviously at different times of the with me. So it'll be during the reading block, but there will be times where I'll dismiss kids for independent work and I'll still work with another group. And then the other day I might flop it. I might work with a group and then dismiss the first group. And that's so that I can give students the skills that they need at the levels that they are, because it's not fair for high level readers to be working at the 2nd grade level. It's not fair for 2nd grade readers to be working at a 10th grade level, and so on. So I'm just gonna have to adjust that. So do understand that it's gonna take me a couple more weeks, a few more weeks to work all that out so I can figure out what kids need and where to push and where to give more attention, okay? For math, I also have students that will be able to compact out of lessons. And what that means is they're going to prove to me that they understand the concept. They will be dismissed from Zoom and they'll work independently, or they'll work with a small group in like a breakout room, okay? So that is after we have learned how to manage breakout rooms as a class, which we're not there yet. After we have learned how to do independent assignments in Canvas, which we're not there yet. So once we've learned the routine, then I can start managing some of those smaller groups, okay? So bear with me, it's going to take another 3 or 4 weeks to really learn all of the procedures and routines that online learning requires, because it's different than a classroom. For writing, I put this in writing so that you understand my process, because I'm a little different than other teachers. I only score 3 essays a semester. I let the students choose their best 3 essays, and those 3 essays become their average for the semester. Everything else is formative feedback. And what that means is I will give scores, I'll give feedback, I'll give written comments, but it's just to help them improve. It's not to hold anyone back. So they will choose their 3 best essays at the end of the semester, and those essays will be already scored. They'll know what their score is, and those scores will average for their writing grade. Okay, because I know a question came up on, why'd they get a 3? Why'd they get a 2? It's all information for me to help me group students. It's information for them, and I'll show you a little more details later, okay? Struggling learners will be working with me from 2 o'clock on in the afternoon. Some of that will be ST Math, Core 5, writing, all sorts of different things. So every day, I just really honestly like keep a note as I go. I keep track of work, assignments, everything as we go, and know that it's day by day. It's day by day. Okay, so continue asking your questions in the chat. I'm gonna keep going. Someone had asked on my survey about 5th grade choir. That starts tomorrow. It is a Zoom link. It's on my homepage. I'll show you where that is when I take you there, but they'll just click on the link and they'll go right to choir. The whole class goes together. The whole class goes. Will kids be doing longer assignments and projects? Yes, I totally love projects. I love group assignments. I love being creative and creating things, digital, obviously, for many of their things. So that will come, it will come. So again, we've got to learn procedures first. I can't put kids in a breakout room if they don't know how to manage themselves in a breakout room. Because right now, both of Ms. Tran and I have to supervise. And I don't want to put anyone into a little breakout discussion room until they have the procedures for that. As a parent, should we be taking breaks? Yeah, take breaks. I prefer the breaks to be when I've given breaks, but if a kid just is done and they're wiped out, then stop the independent work, take a break, come back to it later. If I give you too much work, just tell me. Tell me it was too much work. If it's not enough work, tell me, and I'll give you more. I'm not giving homework, and I think that's going to be helpful, but you have to just communicate with me what you need and what your child needs. Someone had asked what time is choir. It's going to be at 1:30 to 2 every Wednesday. 1:30 to 2. Okay, keep texting your questions because we're going to keep plugging along. Headsets, I'm realizing are really helpful. I cannot hear students talk without a good headset. And then I'm like trying to listen. I'm trying to turn up my sound. I'm like asking, and then here's what it sounds like. And then I don't know how to help them. So if you can get a headset with a good microphone, please, please, please make it a Christmas present or whatever you need to do, because it will help me be able to hear your child. If I can't hear them, it's hard to help them. Okay, just like when I can't see them, it's also hard to help them. So just try to help me with those little details, okay? Some of the supplies they need, obviously they need a laptop that's charged, they need a charging cable, they need good Wi-Fi, the microphone, the headset, all of their supplies, their notebooks. It's a lot. It's a lot to manage. It's too much for a 10-year-old to manage all by themselves. So do everything you can, like you already are, to help make sure their backpack is organized, their desk is organized, they have pencils ready to go. Because without a pencil or without a notebook, they're sitting, you know, there's nothing I can really hand to them at that moment. If we were in the classroom, of course, it would be so different. Okay, that was an excellent example of poor sound. Thank you. I practiced that, Peggy. I practiced that. So for Canvas, let's talk about Canvas. Okay, Canvas is our platform where they get their independent assignments, okay? That's what I'm using it for. It's also for links to places, okay? So one of the questions was, can you get the parent Canvas app? Yes, I'm going to show you that. I'm going to show you where to find it. Okay, so your student will log in to the computer through LBUSD. And then right down here, if you can see my mouse, there's a little video that I'm going to share this with you tonight. And you will click on this video and it teaches you how to get the pairing code. There's a pairing code. It's not a QR code. It's a little pairing code that's like 6 letters and numbers. And you have to get that little code, and it's kind of confusing for me to show you right now. So just watch that video. It will take you through how to get a pairing code. I think it works on an iPad. Has anyone had an experience with it working on an iPad? Just give me a hand raise or a thumb up if you have had that work for you. We're not quite sure. Okay, so I've had it work on my phone, but best case scenario, go to your kids' Canvas page and just log in as them, and then you'll see everything the way they see it. That's the easiest thing, okay? So your child will have this little tile, and they'll click on it, okay? Over here, I have a video for you that you can watch later that shows you how to set up account notifications, how to add email addresses, how to change it from your email to your husband's email or whatever you need. There's a video here that will show you how to do all of that. Again, it's too much for me to share with you in 5 minutes. So if you want to change your notifications so that you get more or less emails or text messages, go to that video and it will show you how to do that, okay? Parent Canvas works on your phone and on Microsoft Surface, awesome. So here's some different ways. Again, I'm putting video links. I'm dropping in video links because in 30 minutes, I can't show you all of these. It took me 2 weeks and I still don't know all of it. And that was 2 entirely full weeks. My husband will attest, hours, and I still don't know all of it. So you can just go and find in your child's settings, all of the different settings, and you can go in there and kind of tootle around and figure out what settings you want. There's all sorts of different ways to be notified. And then parent notifications, you can set them up on when you want messages to pop up, when you want discussions to pop up for you. It's very, there's a lot there. There's a lot there. Okay, you can also get a way that you want to be contacted. So if you'd rather be contacted right to your phone with a notification, or if you don't want messages going to your phone and you want it going to your email, there's a place to set that up. Okay. Now on to me. I want to show you my live page in just a second. When I give daily assignments, they are 5 days, Monday through Friday. And they're, from now on, I figured out the easiest way is to have 3 assignments a day: reading, math, writing. That's it. If I do any more, it's too confusing. So 1 reading assignment, 1 math assignment, 1 writing assignment. If you can just check that your child did 3 assignments a day, that's the independent work. Okay, now the assignment might be go to Gigi. Or the assignment might be, do your core 5 minutes. But at least there will be a listed assignment right here where it says Monday through Friday. They'll click on the button and they will find their 3 assignments for the day. They will find this page first. It says, let's get started. They'll click on this next button. That took me a whole day to teach them that. Then they're going to see a blue submit button. Now, I'm going to be clear here. There is not always a blue submit button. It's like half of the assignments have it and half of them don't have it. I know, go ahead in the chat box, tell me how horrible that is. It's a horrible design. I don't like it at all. I wish every single assignment had the word submit. It would make it so much easier for everybody, but they don't. And the reason why is because if I create an assignment in Canvas and it's something that I want them to submit, like submit an answer, oops, sorry, I didn't mean to do that. If I want them to submit something actually in Canvas, then there's a submit button. But look here, I want to show you this next page. On this assignment, this was from yesterday, I didn't want them to submit in Canvas. I wanted them to click on a slide deck. And this is like a Google slide deck. And I wanted them to submit a Google assignment. So now guess what? There's no submit button because they're not submitting to Canvas, they're submitting to Google instead. So whenever I have an assignment that's in Canvas, you'll see submit. When it's not in Canvas, they will click a link and it will take them somewhere else to complete that assignment, okay? I'm gonna show you that, but I wanna show you that when they get to the word that says you're finished, it means they have finished their 3 assignments, okay? Just to show you what a Google assignment looks like, this is an example. If they don't see the submit button, it will take them to our Google Classroom. And you can see in our Google Classroom, we have all of our writing assignments that we've been doing. And this is the teacher's view. I can actually see everybody's writing at the same time. Same thing with Pear Deck. Let me show you what Pear Deck looks like. This is what it looks like from the teacher's point of view. So when they go to Pear Deck, it'll be a link. It'll take them here, and then I get to see every kid working at the same time. I love this view because I'm able to help all 30 kids at the exact same time, and I can watch them work live. I can't do that in Canvas, and that's why I like to use these other apps, okay? Now, I did include a couple last videos here for parents, just more tips, and one parent was asking me about grading. So it's 2:48, I have about 10 minutes left. Let me see what other questions I have. I have the app, but I'm confused at the percentage. Yes, I'm also confused with grading. Grading is very confusing. I'm gonna show that next. So I have 3 more tabs here. This again is how I get to see everybody's writing. And you can see that I have access to all of my students at the same time. I can click on anyone's writing and I get a full view and I can give them instant feedback. So when parents ask me, you know, why did my kid get a 3 or why did my kid get a 2 or why is there no comment? It's because a lot of my instruction in writing is live and I give direct feedback right as they're writing, you know, during the process. I don't wait till they turn it in. I give them feedback during the process. So hopefully that makes a little more sense to you and that's understandable to you. And then I can show you where the rubric is. Okay, also with math, look at how great this is. I can see every single student working at the exact same time. So it's like as if I'm in the classroom. It's almost like I can see all their whiteboards in the classroom. And I love Pear Deck because I can watch them work, I can click on someone, I can give direct feedback, okay? So that's why if you're not seeing what was it called, submit button, it's because it's a different app that I'm using, so I'm able to see a little more information about the kids. For grading, I'm just pulling up my daughter's gradebook now. You guys are lucky. I think I'm lucky. I do have access to a child's work because I have my own child in the class, so I'm able to see what it looks like from a kid's point of view. Now, most teachers don't have this point of view. We are only able to see from a teacher's point of view. But I want to show you what grading looks like for a child, okay? So here, she would kill me if she knew I was showing this to you, by the way. But this is a child's, you know, grades. If you go over here on the side where it says grades, you'll see all of the assignments. Now, this is how many points an assignment is worth. And I'm trying to make most assignments worth 1 point, just for right now completing them, turning them in. I'm not worried yet about quality. I'm worried about, do they know how to turn in an assignment? And did they complete it? So that's 1 point. The checks were because I was trying something else out. It was a different feature and I don't like that. So I'm gonna probably use the points. This little dash means I haven't graded it yet, and that's probably because we haven't done it yet. We're doing this one, well, we had a computer issue, so we just didn't even do that one. So if you don't see a grade, it could be that we didn't even do it. But what you want to look for is like missing or late, those kind of little things. Now, also you'll see these icons over here. This means that there's a comment from your teacher. So if you click right there, you'll see that there's a comment, and you'll also see that I have a screenshot. So you can click on the screenshot, and the screenshot will pop up and show you whatever whatever it is I took a picture of. Like, for example, this was it's not popping up. So anyways, the screenshot is there it is. It's a picture of your child's work, and you can look at that and see what do they, what is their strength, what is their weakness, and so on. That screenshot should be in the grade book for each of you. And that's just a beginning of the year reading assessment. It's not for the report card, it's for my knowledge, so I know how to help your child. It's for your knowledge too. And then if you see other icons, for example here, this is a rubric. If you click on it, I know it's small, I know I'm going fast, you'll see the rubric that I created. This was just a tiny rubric just for plot, and there's a long description here, and it tells you what I was looking for in terms of plot, because I was teaching them specifically plot. So that's why it was just a tiny little rubric, and it's, again, formative feedback. So whatever score your child got, it's just so that I know how to help them. It's not going to affect their grade. Okay, that's just one of their many, many writing examples. And so all these little icons mean something. You just have to click through them to figure out what they mean. I don't like gradebook yet, because it's hard for me to learn, but I am learning it, and hopefully it's getting a little bit easier for us all. Questions? I don't see a lot of questions popping up. What is the highlighted color coding? Okay, on paragraphs. Okay, so when we do writing in the class, I'll show that to you again, because I think that's a really good question, so thank you for bringing that up. Let me pull it up. So when we do writing in class, let me go back to a different writing assignment. I put it all in Google Classroom, again, so that it's easy for me to look at. And so this was one that I believe had color coding. Yes. Okay. So you can see how easy it is for me to see the students' color coding, and the color coding I use for revising. So when students work together and they work on their own writing and they look at revision, they're looking for elements of character. They're looking for elements of setting. They're looking for elements of, action verbs or whatever. And I do it in color coding so that, again, I can scan the page and I can see, all right, let me help Nicole. Let me help Jacinda. Let me help Lexi, whoever it is. I can see it with the colors. And then I can go in, and I'm just using my daughter because that way I don't have to worry about offending anyone or showing anyone else's work. But I can go in and I can see what they highlighted, and I can see what kind of words I need to help them and work with them on. And a lot of this is oral feedback. It's not written feedback, but it's done during class time. Okay, so what other questions do you have? And hopefully you don't stump me, because I don't have all the answers. But if you'd like to use your microphone, you are unmuted.
Hello.
Hi,
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hi. You were going to, I asked if you could show us where we can see their progression for GG and all that stuff.
Okay, so let me show that. Good question. I'm going to share my screen. The easiest place is on the home screen, on their home page for Canvas. And that easy because I update it once a week, every Friday. So every Friday you can go to your child's home page. You should be able to access this from your phone. And there's a little button that says grades, and there's a button that says homepage. And if you scroll down to the very, very bottom, you're going to see all of these different apps that we use and all of these different links. Here's Choral Music. There's a direct link right to music. At the bottom, I have all their scores. Okay. Now I know that some, people don't really like having their scores shared with the world, but I just am trying to find the easiest way for you all to get the information you need for your child, for me to have it, and for the kids to have it. So if you have a better method for me to get all those to you, please share, because I'm open and I'm willing. But individual emails just is so time consuming. And individual reports is, I just don't have the hours. So I'm just trying to find the easiest way. So once a week, I'm updating all of those scores for you. What other questions do you have? Can we use a number system for scores? Yeah, why don't you, Robin, let's talk about that and you can help me out. You can help me figure that out. That I wouldn't mind that. It's actually not what Gigi, ST Math, and what Core 5 have done, which I really like, is instead of ranking kids and putting percentages, what they do is they have a total number of minutes and a total number of units each week, and it starts over every week. So if you get 8 units a week, then that's the goal. And then every week it starts over at 0 and you try to get to 8 every week. With Gigi, it's 60 puzzles. So your goal is 60 puzzles every week. You start with 0 and you get to 60. So hopefully that limits the ranking system, and it just shows the kids how many puzzles they've done for the week and that they can be proud of that. So what other questions do you have? We're good. How's everybody doing? Is everybody hanging in there? A little bit? A little bit. Oh my gosh, you guys. Okay, here's one other thing. This just comes from the heart from Debbie Bober. This is not from teacher Bober at Coverly. This just comes from my heart as a parent. I want to be with the kids. I want to physically be at school with the kids. Whether or not we're able to do that or whether it's safe, that's a whole nother issue. But just know that the day the school opens and we're allowed to be together, I will be here with open arms, okay? I won't hug them because we'll probably have to be 6 feet away. But I'm really excited about schools opening. I'm excited about being together. What I'd like for you to start doing over the next couple of months is when you are ready, when your family is ready, when the health department is ready, start letting your kids, just pick one friend, pick one person that you will be comfortable with to start getting together with, and let them do school together. Let them learn together, let them work together, let them sit together, 6 feet away or however you want to do it with the mask on, but just start there. We can't get back in school yet, but we can at least start working with a friend. Okay, that's what they need the most is friendship, and they also need to collaborate and work with another person. So please do that for me. That would be great. Teacher comments, screenshots from Canvas app. You mean like from your phone? Are you asking, can we see teacher comments on a phone app? Yeah, honestly, the easiest way for you to see comments is actually going into your child's account and then just looking there. So I would probably take their Chromebook at night, open it up and go into Canvas and just look and see that their assignments are done right from their Chromebook. Yeah. Okay. Any other questions before we call it a night? Okay, well, thank you so much. You guys can stay on with me if you have more individual questions, but thank you for being here. Look it's exactly 3 o'clock. Like, how could we not be any more perfect than that, right? Thank you so much. I love working with your kids. We're having a great start to the year. We will keep going and we're gonna learn a lot. I'm not cutting back on anything. I'm not cutting out anything. They will learn exactly what they're supposed to learn in 5th grade. All right. All right, you guys, we'll see you soon.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye, thank you.